Hello, everybody. Wolves 3, Manchester United 4. Are you not entertained? What a match. What a game. Wasn't expecting that for a Thursday night game. Um, Team showed resolve. Absolutely fantastic. Good 3 points for the team. We got some stuff to get into. A lot of positives, a couple negatives, and we're going to get straight into it real quick. Before we do, please smash the like button, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. Especially smash the like button. Takes 2 seconds of your time. Helps us out. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. So let's get straight into the match. I want to start off right away by saying, Kobbie Mainoo, a star is born. A star has been born at Manchester United. I was about to say Old Trafford. I wish it was in front of the Old Trafford crowd. Obviously, away fans were there, heard them chanting. Always fantastic. They always do a great job. But oh man, what a match. I think there was a couple plays and a couple big things. Ten Hag started Rashford. I said earlier that I would have dropped him, um, maybe possibly from the squad altogether. If not dropping him from the squad, I would have kept him on the bench. Now he they spoke to each other, so it was handled internally. A lot of fans didn't like that in the beginning because they didn't know, how it's being dealt or whatever. But and in the end, I think it's a correct decision. It's how things should be dealt with. They should be dealt with internally. They should never become public. If they become public, there is a problem somewhere between the player and the manager. Um, Things like that should not be dealt with in the public eye. Always, the best way is to handle it in house. Take the right and appropriate actions that are fair, that are what needs to be done, and you move forward. And I think that was done. Um, and it was a little bit surprising that he actually started him. I was thinking that he might have put him on the bench and bring him off of the bench. Clearly, whatever they talked about, it was settled, it was done, and Ten Hag thought that it was the right choice to start Marcus Rashford. And I think so. It's kind of a gamble, it's kind of a risk, but I think for all the talk that was going on about Rashford, for all the stories and that came out after it was found out that he did go out clubbing and drinking before the night before practice. Um, he had something to prove. He had something to prove. So I think it was a good gamble by Ten Hag because you could put the player out there and he could have a shit game and he could get absolutely abused and come out of the game looking worse for wear. Uh, but he started the game, scored the goal 2 minutes in, and was off to it was like the first chance we had, and he scored it. And 5 minutes in, and he shut everybody up real quick. And this is all we ask from Marcus Rashford. This is all we ask. I was saying this that I don't care. What you do really off the pitch, as long as it's not illegal. Have your life. Go do commercials. Go to the club. Go do drinking. As long as it doesn't affect your football, put your football first. Put the club first. That's the least that we expect. And just we're out here battling it out with other fans. We support you. We always have your back, but don't do things that make us feel like we're disrespected. So enough with that. But it was good to see that was handled correctly. Rashford came, he scored a goal, and he played pretty good. He didn't seem as selfish tonight, which was good to see. He was looking for Höjlund. They were on the field communicating with each other. And he simplified his game. I want to get on. I want to emphasize that Rashford was playing simple today, which is something I asked for, and I think a lot of people were asking for. But it's something that is crucial. I mean, look at the game he had today. It's probably one of his better performances he's had all season. Um, Even though he didn't even play the whole match, he ended up getting substituted. But he was simple. He wasn't trying to do. He took on players when he needed to take on players. He was playing intelligent. Didn't try to force the ball through three defenders, waiting for Luke Shaw to make the overlap. Um, you know, Coming back on defense, tracking the runner, checking in when needed to, making the run at other times when needed to. When he received the ball, he wasn't just always dribbling down the line. There was a lot of times he picked up the ball, he centered the ball, kept the play moving, which is exactly what we want and we need. This team needs that. And a lot of players played very differently than they have been. There was one or two players that put in a performance that was still, we need to see more from them, and they need to do better. Um, but I think that comes with, if the team starts doing better, you can help some of the other players that are really struggling to get it on their own, and you lift them up, but we need the team, the core, the group, the squad as a whole, the majority of them, they need to start, it needs to start clicking, they need to start playing, and they need to start performing, and I think a lot of them show that tonight. Um but Kobbie Mainoo, I mean, this kid, how many times have we said it? This kid is something special, man. 18 years old. Just he's I've really, I haven't seen something like this in quite some time. Just so calm on the ball, so calm, composed. He's smart. He puts in challenges. He's not afraid to put in challenges. He shows strength, intelligence. I mean, the kid is doing it all at 18 years old. Um, and what a goal! What a goal! Uh, what was that? His first Premier League goal at the senior level for Manchester United. He scored a goal in the last match. That was in the FA Cup. So absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy for the kid. I'm happy it was him. I really really like this kid. We definitely have something special on our hands, and we have another one. We have another one, guys. We have another one on our hands. 100%. This kid is something special. Um, we got a couple more academy kids in there. I think they're a little bit too young. Forcing, I we got to see more of him, but I think he might have, even he might have something to add. He's getting some minutes here and there, which is encouraging. You like to see that. Obviously involved in the game-winning goal. He did excellent hold-up play. Laid it off to Mainoo, and the rest was history. So, two academy players linking up for a senior uh first team Manchester United game winning goal. You love to see it. Couldn't write it any better. Um and Scott McTominay also getting an important goal, coming on for Casemiro. So I think a lot of things Ten Hag did today, they were right. They went his way. I want to see the defense just being a little bit better. And that's what I want to say. We had a plenty of chances today. We scored 4 goals. We could have probably scored 8. We probably should have had like 5 or 6. Before they even scored one. So we were clinical, but we could always be more clinical. We took our chances today. 4 goals is a lot for a team that has like, I think we're at -4 goal difference right now. We were struggling to score goals. I think Marcus Rashford was our top goal scorer. Obviously still is, but he had like 6 goals, or 7 goals, and Scott McTominay had 5. So they each went +1 up. We're in February 1st. Manchester United players would normally have double digits by now, so it just tells you, where we've been at for the season. But to score 4 matches away from home on top of that, because our away record is absolutely atrocious. This was a very, very, very important win and an important 3 points. And yes, it was scrappy. And yes, there was some mistakes that, we shouldn't have let them get into the game. We should have killed it off. Um, but this team, you need to get the wins, and you need to build on the performance, and you need to play the way they play today. You have to start somewhere, and you need to continue off of that. And at times it's going to be scrappy, but listen, if you're scrapping it out for a couple games, and that gets this squad momentum, and gets these players momentum, um I think, you're gonna have to put up with it until we're up in a good routine. You know, up until we get a bit of form. You do this like 3 or 4 games in a row. We get a couple good victories like this away from home, build the confidence, and um just having the routines with all the first team players back in action, uh, I think we could see a very second half, very different second half to the season. So we're gonna do player ratings in a second. I just want to mention a couple more players. Like I think Casemiro today was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It showed why we missed him so much. The guy was just, intercepting balls, winning balls back at crucial times, winning back the possession. I absolutely loved his display today. I think it was something that we've been missing. Um, and he is the best player in that entire squad at doing that. I wish he got one of those two goals that was called offsides by him and Bruno. I could have swore, third time's the charm. It was coming for sure, but it didn't. Would have helped us too, but yeah, I think this was it was. Listen, even if you were neutral, I think it was a great game of football to watch. You're talking about a 7 goal game, two late goals at the end. You think Wolves equalized it and they're gonna walk away with stealing a point, and up steps an 18-year-old a kid who's been having just a dream season so far for himself, and he scores the match winner, and Manchester United walk away with the 3 points, and I think rightfully so. I think the way the match was played, I think we deserved 3 points. I don't think Wolves deserved anything from the match. Um, Especially because let's call it out here. That penalty call was an absolute disgrace. That was never a penalty. VAR, absolute disgrace. That's just what kind of call is that, man? What kind of call is that? That's never a pen. That was the softest pen in the history of penalties. And then when you compare it to other penalties in matches like yesterday with Liverpool, that's Livarpool. So we get that straight. Liverpool, two penalties, way worse of a challenge, and it was never given against them. Casemiro barely touched the guy. Air touched him more than Casemiro, and right away, you know, automatic VAR penalty. If it was the other way around, they would have never gave us that pen. If that happened to our play in the box, they would have never gave us that pen. So, absolute disgrace. Um, and it was a bit unlucky, but it was also our fault because we should have had 3 or 4 or 5 by that time. So that goal wouldn't have really mattered, which is why it's important to be as clinical as possible. But you know, I felt like it was really coming. If that penalty didn't come, I think it was coming in the next few minutes. They got the goal, and then it just changed the dynamic a little bit of the game. It gave them back a breath of fresh air. But we stayed fighting. We stayed in the game. We stayed playing. Um, I got a little bit worried when Ten Hag started making all the substitutions because those are the players that we say aren't good enough to really start, right? I mean, like Scott McTominay, um, Harry Maguire, even though he was playing fantastic before he got injured, I think everybody would still start Rafael Varane and Martinez. Um, he took off Rashford to put on Anthony. He hasn't been playing so well. So, I think overall, this is one of these games. We took risks. We played well. And at the end of the day, things went our way, and we walk away with the 3 points, and it's a big 3 points, and we got another match coming up on Sunday that we need another 3 points. This is the time we start going, and we have our first team. And that's something that I want to mention. I think if you take out Casemiro, if you take out Lisandro Martinez, um, who else? If you take out Shaw, if you take out uh couple, if you put in a couple players other than those players, I don't know if we win that match. I don't know if we played the way we played. Obviously, the team still needs to improve a little bit more. They need to be better in possession of the ball. I think they did better than they usually do, but I want to see them do even better. They need to do even better. and a couple of the players, they need to get this negative going backwards all the time. Too many times they receive the ball and they don't they don't release the forward pass, or they don't look for the forward pass. I think if you go back and you watch that game and you look at Lisandro Martinez, um, Lisandro Martinez is one of these players. I mean, this guy picks up the ball. He barely goes backwards. If he goes backwards, it's because he really has to. This guy picks up the ball and he's looking to pass it forward every time, and that's very important. That's why I said we really miss Lisandro Martinez. This guy, like, you know, not only is he fantastic at defense, but he also really helps out the transition and the attacking build of the game. He's a very, very important player to us, and I think he's a very, very important player to the way Eric Ten Hag wants this team to play. Which is why we need to get more players that can, maybe they're not as good as Lisandro, or maybe they're better than Lisandro, but somebody else has to do the job that Lisandro does if Lisandro isn't available. And I don't think we really necessarily have that in the squad right now, which is why we need, to get reinforcements. But I'm just going to run through player ratings real quick because I don't want this to run on too long. We hit 16 minutes. I'm going to try and keep it at 20. So Onana, I'm going to give him a 5.5. Listen, he had saves. He had some saves, but the saves were mostly right at him. Uh, Otherwise, he didn't have too much concerning those two chances where he came out to sweep, misjudged the ball or whatever he did, and if it wasn't for Lisandro Martinez, that's a goal, and completely goalkeeper error because he came out, and if you come out, you got to get the ball, and he didn't. So that was questionable, and there was another instance that was very, very questionable and concerning from him. Um, but I think as far as the goals go, the penalty, you can't blame him for that. The second or the third goal, that's I don't think many keepers are gonna save that. Through the legs of our player into the bottom corner, it was a well taken goal, and I think the second goal, you might argue, all right, it hit him, he could have saved it. Um, but it's also difficult because I kind of blame the defense on that. We kind of fell asleep after the ball got redirected to the Wolves player and then came back in. Too many players stepped up, so I think that was more of a team goal. So I give him like a 5.5. I think he was slightly below average because of those questionable things, but otherwise he didn't have like anything crazy. He didn't we weren't really under pepper a lot, so it is what it is. Diego Dalot, I give him a 6. I think he played pretty average. Uh, he didn't create as much going forward this game. But that's okay. But and he did solid on defense. So I think he was just pretty normal today. Rafa Varane, I'm gonna give him a 6.5. I think he did well. Lisandro Martinez, he's getting a 7. Um, Absolutely. Like I said, big part of the way we play. Very, very important player. For both sides. He really builds up the attack and does a fantastic job in defending too. He always seems to be in the right place inside the box. Anytime the ball comes in there, and he reads the game well. And we've really, really missed this guy. And I'm hoping because he got substituted at the end and he had a bag of ice wrapped around his foot. And I'm hoping that's just like he got stomped on, and they put on the ice to reduce the swelling and the pressure, and he'll be fine. Hopefully, it's nothing more than that because we need him Sunday, and he's only got a couple days to recover. So hopefully it's not too bad, and he doesn't sustain a further injury from that. Luke Shaw got the assist for the Rasmus Höjlund goal. Um, Played pretty well. 6.5 for me. Good to see him back. There was a couple instances I want to see Shaw going forward more. I think it's because he's kind of rusty and he's been out for a while, but there was a couple times where he didn't go forward with the ball when he received it, and I want to see him making forward passes and more forward runs. And there was a few times where he went backwards, and it wasn't necessary. Um, but other than that, first chance he got off the overlap, he crossed it in there, and this is what we need. Look for Rasmus Höjlund. Look for the striker, man. And a goal came out of it. It hit off two players and then hit Höjlund, but still, you got to put that ball in there. You don't put that ball in there, we don't score that goal. So Rasmus, in a striker has a striker's nose, was in the absolute perfect position for that ball to just hit him, and go in. So it was great. It was great. Casemiro, I give him a 7. Like I said earlier, I think Casemiro was absolutely fantastic. Um, there's nobody at Manchester United that does better than him at intercepting the ball, winning back possession after we've just lost it, cutting out key passes. This is very, very important for the squad. Very, very important for us because the faster we get the ball back, um, we can go and attack. And we can stop them from building up play and holding on possession. And I think Casemiro was absolutely fantastic today. Absolute bullshit that he was yellow carded like 2 minutes into the match, and the penalty, absolute bullshit. That was never a penalty. So it's always Casemiro, right? Somehow it's always Casemiro. It's always Casemiro. I've seen players on other teams, on Liverpool, almost snap and break somebody's ankle. Um, Not even a card. Casemiro. They love to give him yellows and reds and put pens on him. It's crazy. Um, Kobbie Mainoo, I'm gonna give him an 8. Like I said earlier, kid was absolutely fantastic. Did everything so well. Smooth, calm. He just keeps continuing to perform. Scored the game-winning goal. And just what more can you ask from the kid? I mean, he is a real midfielder. He's a real player. We have another one from the academy. We have another player. We have somebody special. Um, I have no more doubts in my mind. This kid just keeps doing it, match in, match out. And we have something very, very special here. And let's take care of this kid. Let's guide him. Let's make sure that he becomes one of the best in the world. Because at the moment, I'm telling you now, man, I haven't seen a player like this in the midfield since the days of like Scholes and Lampard and Gerrard. And I haven't seen somebody play like this in a very, very long time. So I think this kid can definitely become one of the best in the world for sure. I'm absolutely convinced of it. I think he has just the natural raw talent, and he has the brain for it. For sure. Garnacho, I give him a 6. He struggled to get into the game, kinda, really, on the right hand side. But he wasn't awful. He had a couple chances here and there. A couple key dribbles. So he did all right. He did all right. Definitely, we're used to seeing him impact more. Um, but I think if he plays on that right side more, he'll get more used to it. It's just Plus the team likes to play down the left a lot, so the right hand side is kind of a hard. It's a hard side to play on because the team loves to play on the left anyway. It's the ball is favored to go down the left anyway. So when you play on the right, it's kind of harder to get your chances and stuff like that. So I think that's why I gave him a 6. He did all right. One of the couple things that was bothering me was he needs to do better on his defensive work, for sure. There was a couple times, he wasn't really. I need to see him track back more and actually pick up the marker. Not, just jogging back there and just being like, "Oh, I'm back here." That's not enough. You need to pick up those runners. Um, which Rashford I think did an excellent job of today. And Marcus Rashford, I'm gonna give him a 6.5, to 7. I think he did good. He didn't play the whole match. Of course, he scored a goal. Um, I think Rashford can still do better. I think we all know Rashford could do better. I think Rashford will tell you that he could do better for sure. But by no means did he have a bad game. Definitely improved performances from what we've seen, and he scored a very important goal, and it was a very nice goal. And I think he did better all around. Looking for teammates, playing simple, like I said in the beginning. So yeah, I want to say, I'll give him a 7. because I was happy with that. I was happy with the way he played today, and he would have definitely got more. Uh, Probably if he stayed on for the entire match. Rasmus Höjlund, we give him a 7.5. I think Rasmus was absolutely fantastic. He was out there making runs, scored a goal. Should have had another goal. Probably. He could have had two more goals, to be honest. Which is, we need him to step up that clinicalness. But they actually looked for him today. Even in the beginning, the ball was sent it to him, and he's not even a selfish guy. Like a lot of those strikers, they're trying to shoot that ball when he gets it, and he was smart. His back was kind of towards the goal, and he just laid it off to Rashford because he played the simple play, and we scored a goal from it. And this is what I'm saying. Like we need to find a striker because he's in the center, right? He's the focal point of the attack. Like you got to find your center guy, center the ball, and then we see what happens from there. Play as a team, play together, and they did that today. And he has a powerful run. He's smart and he has that nose inside the box. He's in a lot of good positions. So I think if we continue to play like this, it's only going to get better, because they're really going to start connecting with each other. They're really going to find each other. They're going to start knowing everybody's positions and everybody's movements. So, yeah, happy for Rasmus that he got on the score sheet, and that was a striker's goal. He absolutely scored a striker's goal. That's a real striker's goal. Scott McTominay 6.5 because he came on, substitute, wasn't on for long, but I think he did good for the time that he was on. He came on, he scored a goal, um, and times where the ball was in his feet, I think he did pretty good. He could have actually got another goal. It was hard because it came off a deflection, and it, the reaction time is hard to it. But he could have got another goal. He could have had two goals. Only on for 15 minutes. But at the same time, this is what we're saying. See Scott McTominay, all right, put him on 10, 15 minutes. We need to, he's fresh. We need to solidify the game. Maybe, he comes in, he adds a bit of height, he adds a bit of physicality inside the box. Um, and he likes to get forward. And it benefited us. It benefited us for sure. That's definitely his role. There's no way that he's more than that. But, yeah, I think he did good for what he did today. Anthony, uh, listen, he wasn't on for long. But what he did wasn't too great. Um, I don't want to be so harsh on him. Like a 5.5 to 6. He wasn't on long, but he had a couple chances and it just didn't look good, man. Like, and he played on the left side, like I've been asking for. I think Ten Hag watched one of my videos, Jesus. Because I've been shouting for him to play on the left side forever. So, yeah, he played on the left side, but it still didn't look good. And maybe I don't know, man. Maybe he was lacking in confidence. But he did it right, defensive wise, because we were trying to lock down the game and win it. And I think he did all right in that part. But there was like two or three moments where he had the ball in attacking positions, and he just messed them up totally. Um, and it just didn't look like good. It didn't look like he was creating something like you would say like, oh, good, like he created a good chance there. So I'm starting to really worry about this guy, because he's being dropped, um, and unfortunately, listen, we need this guy to be good. We need this guy to come good. Now, is he going to be able to come good? I don't know. A lot of people will say no. A lot of people say, he's garbage and this and that, and maybe they're right. But listen, we're in the middle of the season. This January transfer window's closed. We were never going to sell him anyway in the middle of the January transfer. So we need this guy to somehow. We need him to produce something, anything. If he can produce 6.5s from now to the end of the season, I think we'll take that because he's literally not been doing that. And is that good enough for Manchester United? No, but we need it till the end of the season for sure. Harry Maguire, 6, wasn't on long. Forson, I give him a 6.5. He got the assist for the Kobbie Mainoo goal. and I think so he did impact the game, and I think he played all right. He needed more time. He got like 10 minutes. I want to see more time of him playing on the pitch to see what he does. But I think playing up top as striker, I think he did all right. So I give him a 6.5. Johnny Evans 6, and Eric Ten Hag I give him a 7. For today, I think everything he did was well. He made substitutions. Um, Now some people they will question the substitutions because why are you taking off this player? Why are you taking off this attacking player? And I think what he was trying to do was really just trying to manage the game because Wolves are making a lot of substitutions. They were changing formations. I mean, they're handing out notes to give to players on the pitch to readjust, whatever they were readjusting, and they were putting like big players in the box. So I think Ten Hag was making substitutions to try and match the tactical changes from Wolves. And listen, if you don't like the players that he was putting in to do that, at the end of the day, it's not really his fault. Listen, we have this squad. These are the players we have. He needs to use certain players in certain situations. If you're saying those players aren't good enough, well, that's on the club. They got to get rid of them and they got to get better players in those positions so we could use them. So man of the match, of course, is going to Kobbie Mainoo for the match winner. Absolutely 110%. Love this kid. Super happy for him. Um, and yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. So thank you guys for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. We want you to have a good morning, good evening, good night from wherever you're watching. Remember, smash the like button if you haven't already. It really helps us out. It takes 2 seconds of your time. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for doing so. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends and put on the notifications so you know when we do these shows. We have live shows coming. The hardware is set up. So very very soon I'm gonna try and get something going for Sunday. If it's not Sunday, it will definitely 110% be the following week. So very very excited to do that. I hope you guys are too. Um, I'm gonna look to do like some type of a live call in or whatever because I want to hear people's opinions. So I'm very excited for this, and I hope you guys join me in conversation about Manchester United, about the team that we love. And for everybody that's been watching, thank you very much. I really really appreciate it. You know, you don't have to be here. You don't have to be listening to me. Um, you could be doing anything else really, and you choose to be here, so we greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. So with that, we'll catch you later. We'll definitely be bringing you another one like we always do. And until then, be good.